Well, hey there, folks. It's Justin from CartoonSmart.com. I'm going to take a little break from programming. I've been teaching some scene kit lessons and augmented reality, all that fun stuff, but I haven't drawn a lot recently. And nothing gets me more excited than drawing flames on things. So that's what we're going to do today. I'm in Procreate. I'm just going to grab the inking, an inking pen, just a studio one over here. One of the main reasons I like this is because it kind of self-tapers itself. So you'll see that... you know, I mean, pretty much all these things can taper themselves, but this one I feel like more so. See that nice little, you know, tapering part at the bottom, right? And for doing little kind of magical flames like that, I feel like that really helps out. One thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start on a layer that is new, not on layer 8 here, which has just the kind of inking layer on it. That way we could always get back to that if we need to. Let's start down here, okay? And we'll just kind of build up something that, you know, maybe goes around here, something like that. Sure looking magical, right? And then, you know, when you do this, I'd say in some parts, just make it a little bit thicker, right? Almost like when you start taking turns with it, you know, you turn it, do that. There we go. Just erased a little bit of it. Get that in there. And then you can always, you know, have a little bit kind of come out like that. Maybe do something over here. So this is almost kind of like less flame, more almost electricity. But that's okay. So there we go. So again, kind of when I'm taking those turns, filling in a little bit more. If we need to erase, I'd probably go and be sure I had the same studio pen on there to erase with, just so it's kind of a little fine point, right? And let's see. Now, you know, I actually kind of like that one where it goes a little bit. Yeah. Okay, so we've got that. Nice strong kind of line through there on up to the thumb. And let's go and do a little bit more over here, of course. A little bit. We'll probably do quite a lot. Although, you know, I've actually kind of practiced quite a bit with this. And what I found is that I really liked a less is more approach with this. So my first few times around, I kept just drawing like line after line after line like that. And I actually think it's a little bit better if we don't do that. So I'm going to fill this in most of the way. Okay. And, you know, I kind of don't want to go over the inking line too much there. You know what? I'm going to start actually at the top there. There we go. So I get that nice little tapering, right? Do a little bit over here, and just a little bit out that way. At some point, we just do a bunch of little sparks and stuff like that. You know, stuff that maybe kind of flows with what we've already done. Right there. And these are almost sort of just like typical comic book lines you would see. You know, if somebody's moving around or shaking a little bit, you'd get something like that. And then let's this one's probably good enough. Fill that in a little bit more. And then let's do a little bit more of those kind of fun lines, just kind of swooping around the fingers, kind of wrapping around them. So I might come back over here. Go up like that, you know. And again, I just got to be kind of careful to. The effect kind of falls apart if it, you know, if you can't believe the line really wrapped around that thing. Oh, let's see. Do we want to do a little bit more over this way? Well, sort of like some little baby flames popping up. Okay, well, yeah, I think that's probably good enough for now. Maybe, yeah, no, let's do a little bit underneath, just a little bit, something like that. Okay, so once you've got that, here's where the real fun begins, if that wasn't already fun enough for you. Let's go and duplicate this layer. So I'm just going to left swipe on this, hit duplicate, and I'm going to do that 2 times. So I've got 3 of them now, just the same exact thing. On this bottommost one, I'm going to switch over here in the top left to adjustments. I'm going to go to, I always mess this up, a Gaussian blur, and I'm holding down with the pen on the pad, and it's, I'm going to get this up to about 27% or so, just so it kind of makes this nice little light around everything, the blurry light. But then on that other layer, what I'm going to do, everything is blown up device wise. Sorry, those are all my notifications, not yours. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch back over here to Gaussian blur again, and then I'm just going to make this other one about 12%. And at first, like when you're down here, it doesn't look like you're doing anything, but then about 12%, you can sort of see that it adds this nice little kind of outline around it that I think really works well. And then what we could do, let's go up one more layer, and we'll just switch to white, and we've got just the inking pen again, and then just go and find some places where you feel like you kind of believe that there's this like hotter white flame within here, right? Stuff like this. It might not be too noticeable, but I think it works really well at times. And I could probably sit here and play with this all day long, but I'd say after about 6-7 minutes, you'll get bored of it. So I'll try to wrap this up. The things I would consider after this would be, going down to a layer below everything, maybe grabbing just an airbrush, anything kind of just a thick or just a bigger brush that with a softened edge to it, something like that. And then maybe even a little bit bigger than that. And then just kind of going through and seeing if there's certain places that you think, in the back could kind of be lit up a little bit more, You can sort of almost do that around the entire thing. And then, if you wanted to, you could always go and, at least in Procreate, this is really easy. I mean, you can do this in any program, but tap on this, go over here to Alpha Lock, and then that just means that whatever you draw on this layer now is going to be within what's already been drawn, right? So just taking a brush that we've already got, this one, this airbrush, you can just kind of go through here and just, kind of draw on the inside of this. So just kind of, and I suppose you could even do that with this one too. Set the alpha lock over here, and then kind of go through and make some of those dark lines just have a little bit of blue in them. In places I feel like that does actually really look nice. Maybe just pick, I'm going to do it at the top, not the bottom, right? So if I do it on everywhere, it's going to look a little weird, see? But if you just did it up at the top part, it could look kind of cool. I wouldn't go full with it though. Like, see that I don't think looks good at all. So anyway, yeah, I think I think this kind of worked out all right. Again, I would probably sit here and just play with this for way too long. Like just little areas I'd be playing with. But yeah, there you go. Nice little quick 7-minute, 8-minute, or almost 9-minute. So listen, time to plug stuff. If you haven't been to the CartoonSmart.com website in a while, please check that out. If you aren't watching this on the Cartoon Smart TV app, look for that in the iOS store. Just type in Cartoon Smart, put in the word TV after that, and you'll find it. It works for the Apple TV as well, so you can just kind of sit back on your couch, watch some free lessons. Got free lessons coming all the time through that app. And yeah, anyway, all right, so I'll catch up with you then.